Did I link it to you?
To find the commission comic?
Yeah, the commission comic. I believe I only described it to you, but without
No,
showing it.
No. You put a link in our conversation.
Oh, yeah, I can't open this because you guys are visible. Well.
Yeah, there's certain things that don't need to be seen.
I was just in general talking about you guys disappearing from stream, but sure, leave it hanging at that. Hello and welcome to the indeed awkward cast. ANY and Keyframe wonder about random drivel. And today with us, this time in his own little frame up there and not squeezed in there with Keyframe, who against his will kidnapped him at a convention and put him on this show. No, this time he's here by his own volition. Welcome back, Oblivion. Not space, fall, not S.
Well, welcome back, me. Also, another correction, there's no A in my name and there's no 4 in my name. That's another one people do.
Oh. OblivionFall, so everybody. Welcome back. For the chance that people do not remember who you are and what you do and why they should care, who are you? What do you do? And why should people care?
I've been animating in the pony fandom since 2012.
Well, there goes the live show. No problem.
Bye, audience.
Well, that's the reason that I would know these guys is because it did that. Me and my girlfriend founded Nightfall Studios, and then we got married, and then Nightfalls has been dead for a while. But now I've been doing stuff for DA games. I've worked on a few of the most popular lyric videos that have been up recently. And I just do animation stuff, and I think people like it.
Yeah, cool dude.
I'm a cool guy.
A really cool dude, indeed. A swell person.
I have a story.
Oh boy.
Yes. Let me tell you about my last week. So since the 1st of March, since the 28th of February, I have not had a computer because I gave my hard drive away to be transferred so the information, like some of the companions for the doctor, gets transferred onto a bigger and better thing. I'm going to be getting a new computer soon. So this will be the last podcast with the phone set up with the blinding white light of California behind me.
Finally. And also with the improved audio, because your superior phone comes with inferior microphones, because that makes sense.
Yeah, so the only blinding white light will be ANY's complexion. But
it's true. It's true.
But so I haven't had a computer, so I've been just trying to find something to do besides play Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch. I've become a homemaker and clean and work on stuff, and I've actually sketched out a few paintings that I'm very happy about. Like there was a Luna one that I put down for a while because I was working on a Cuphead, and then I picked it up and I finished things that I want to do, and then because I'm trash, and even though I'm a straight female, I love Brigitte so much. She is beautiful. I love her.
There's still chance for you. Embrace your inner lesbian and turn bi. That's how it works, right?
No, but I love Brigitte's design. I think I like designs more and more if I'm like, hey, I could feasibly cosplay as you. But I've sketched up a portrait for her, and I'm going to be working on that to do more traditional stuff, because I feel like I have a really good talent with that, and people don't recognize it. But besides that, I went to get a haircut. As you notice that I don't have my usual cascading waterfall of hair draped over half my face like a scene kid from the early 90s. Or early 2000s. Oh my god, this was the worst experience I've ever had at a hair salon in my life. Oh boy. So
I mean, you didn't come back with a bald head, so it can't be that horrible.
Yeah. Look, my only conditions for getting a haircut is please don't make me look like a lesbian, and that at least worked. I don't have that kind of short haircut, but like instead of getting my usual young, nice hairdresser, I got this old lady that's from Ireland.
Oh.
Or Ireland or Scotland. She sounded like a really old Mad Munchkin.
That would be Scottish then.
Yeah, and she was sweet. She was a nice lady. But I told her, hey, I just want you to, clip the back of the hair to make it really short. And then I just want to trim right here. I don't know what in the sound waves decided to interrupt half of these things. But she almost shaved the back of my head completely. It's not. I stopped her before she could do that, so that's good. But then came to my bangs, and the reason why I usually keep them up like this is because she cut like a perfectly straight angle on my hair. So if I actually have it how it normally rests without me playing with it, it kind of looks like this, and I look like a weird like Asian boy thing.
Oh no!
Because she also cut off. This is the dumbest part. So, like, on this half of my hair, I actually grew out it so it has, like, a point, kind of like a sideburn thing. Cute, And she cut off the other half.
Oh!
So I have, like, a point here and a square here.
You know what, darling? You look too symmetrical in your face. Let me fix it.
And then to top it off, I was like, hey, can you at least put a little product or something in my hair? Because at least I can fix this issue by pulling my hair up so it's just kind of like this puff, which is fine. It's like a punk hairstyle. She had very sharp nails. And she actually dug into this part of my forehead. And I don't know how I feel about leaning my head against it. I actually have a scab right here because she actually cut into my head and I started bleeding. I just wanted a haircut! So yeah, that was my week. How was your week, Oblivion?
Or
my week is
history in general.
Well, 1 week ago, I finished the Brothers in Arms lyric video, and even though I was done with it, it was not done with me.
Oh boy.
I spent the entire last week doing supplementary stuff for it, time-lapse videos of me animating the hypocrite little hippo. That was one of the last things I animated, so there's a time-lapse of me doing that. There's a time-lapse of me animating the Hello Neighbor section as well, and so I've been trying to edit those things together. And you got the little hypocrite one playing there. That's cool. And so yeah, editing time-lapse footage is tedious. There's a lot of points where like I would get distracted on my second screen, and it's hard to tell when you're watching it fast forwarded. But sometimes it'll just randomly stop for like 2 seconds, so I have to go in and cut that stuff out so that way it's always moving.
I have that a lot when I work on speed drawing because I have these moments where I'm like, I had one moment when I was working on the Rarity video and I had to record stuff, and I went and watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and I'm like, why is this clip so long? There was a 2-hour span of just YouTube videos.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever left. Usually it's about 20 minutes. One thing I started doing for this project is, okay, every time I have to leave the room, I'm just going to stop the recording and start it again when I get back. And so if there's a pause, I know it'll be at the end of each video file. So as I'm putting the bunch of video files together, I always go to the end to check for pauses, and almost without fail, there's a pause there. Like if I'm being distracted, I'm like, oh shit, I have been distracted for a while. I gotta hit the pause button. Got that done. And so, that's usually fine. With the Hello Neighbor one, the recording broke, but I say it broke. I stopped recording and forgot to start recording again, so like 2 hours of footage was lost about halfway through.
Let's see if you can find the spot.
It's a little bit before halfway through. If you go about a third of the way, and you should almost be there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I just put like a little message in. So I've been editing that, and so the way I do it efficiently is I start by speeding up. It records at 10 frames per second, and the final video is 60. So I speed it up by about 600%. at that speed, I comb through and I look for pauses. It's easier to look for pauses when it's not all the way fast, but at the same time, if I speed but if I do it without speeding up first, I have to go through literally like 3 hours, 8 hours. In the case of some projects, 150 hours of footage for some animations I've done time lapses for on Nightfall Studios. So I speed it up a little bit first, go through, cut out any pauses, and then when I speed it up again, any little pauses I've missed won't be noticeable anymore. And so that's generally what I do. And then there are a few moments where I will slow it down a little bit because like there might be something that looks really cool, but I don't want to go by too fast. Like for the hypocrite one, when I'm coloring in like the lines, there's like the slow motion thing of like you can see each frame, you can see like all the little things rapidly being colored in, but the animation itself looks like it's playing in slow motion as it's going. Stuff like that's really cool, and so I'll slow that down slightly so that isn't lost. And also so people don't get epilepsy from the lines being uncolored and colored, uncolored at 60 frames per second. That's bad.
That's it.
So,
that's an animator's evil plan with every time lapse. Everyone has seizures. But yeah, with Brothers in Arms, it finally came out. We're free of.
Finally came out. I'm now free. The final thing was to put the sound effects in for the there's an instrumental version with no lyrics and sound effects that's coming out later today. I had to pause the upload for this. So it'll come out probably a few hours after this is over.
And we are at glorious 1,825,000 views.
Wow, it's almost near 2 million?
Yeah, we're getting there pretty good.
That's good.
Also, the like to dislike ratio is phenomenal.
What's the like to dislike?
So it's 63,000 likes and not even 500 dislikes.
500 divided by 63,000.
And
then minus 1, we have 99.2% positive. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
We you know what? I bet those people who dislike are the people who like just rage quitted when they realize that they can't finish the game on easy mode.
Yeah, there's also this. All right, so I want to talk about a few things because again, this is all in the last week. I mean, there's been a lot of reaction videos that have come out. Obviously, there's always reaction videos by a bunch of people when DA Games does a new song. And one guy, there was this one Russian guy who went through and found a bunch of the Easter eggs. One, if you look very closely in the background, you'll see a familiar face. It looks a little something like this on the wall. And so he not only did he find the face, he found Give and Take's Hypocrites, page on the My Little Pony Wikia, and he included a fake a fake My Little Pony movie poster image that I made like a year ago. So he must have dug through my Twitter, found this like fake Give and Take, poster and put it in his video too. He also found the video of me doing like it's not a dab, it's like a little cool guy like finger gun thing. And I'm like, okay, well maybe he knew about that. I was more surprised by the fact that he found the Butt Chugger poster behind the puppet, which should show up right there.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Butt Chugger poster.
Butt Chugger. It's a song by Endless Jess, known in the fandom as Drowning in Horseshoes previously. And it's a wonderful song. About it's just
I'll get
pure
butt
brilliance.
chugging.
There's also lost.jpg. If you see those other 4 posters, that is the Lost meme. It is very.
We have a friend named Jim here who wouldn't stop reblogging lost.jpg memes for like 3 months straight.
Now
we had to make an entire channel in the DA Games friend server for Lost because it was infecting everything. We had to put it all in one place.
I'm very tempted to change my upvote into a downvote now, just because this meme is included.
Out of all like the memes that ANY doesn't like, he doesn't like that one.
I believe we have been asked on this show once if there is one meme we would like to see the world without, and this is the one meme that I really am like, no. Every other meme has its existence, but this one is just evil.
Yeah. So Pristine asks, does Gibbon know he's in this? Yes, he does.
Does Gibbon approve?
I think so. On his... All right, so in order to talk about that, we'll have to skip to the end of the Hello Neighbor section. And a lot of reaction videos, people at this point in the video, people say, oh, is that Undertale? I think that's Undertale. And it's not. Let me just say this is not. What you're seeing right now is a game. First of all, Hypocrite's in the background there.
Yes.
But this entire scene, all of those skulls, this entire thing is something that Hypocrite or Give and Take created. Last year, he did a thing called Imnagortuidage. It's a crazy acronym about him making a video every day for a month. And on one day, he said, I'm going to make a crappy little game for fun. And it was really cute, and I thought it was funny. And so we had a little section in the song, I'm like, what if I put that game in there? No one would know what that is. And I wasn't expecting people to say Undertale, but yeah. And so on the video where he made the game last year, there's a bunch of comments saying, I'm here from DA Games, Brothers in Arms. And he hearted one of those comments. So he definitely knows what's up. And also, I posted a GIF of the little hippo I made in the Procrastinators Patreon server, and he commented on that. He said, "Whoa, sick." And so that's almost all the Easter eggs. There is one more that you won't know until the version with sound effects comes out later today. When the skulls fire, there's a little like explosion, like fire flame sound effect, but there's a little voice, something like this.
Rare. Rare. Rare.
And of course, that is the voice of Hypocrite. And that is from his video when he animates the skull's mouths opening in his little pixelated art style. As he's watching it back, he's going, "Meow, meow." And I took that, and it's not actually in the game itself. It's just as he was like looking it over in the recording, he said that. And so I took that out and I put it in there very quietly in the background, but it's there. So that's one that no one would ever know if I didn't point it out. That's why I'm saying it here.
So exclusive knowledge delivered to you via the AWKWARDcast.
Then there's a really obvious, as obvious as an Easter egg can be that every single reaction video has picked up on, which is in the Bendy section.
Yep.
Which I love how many people flipped the fuck out when they were like,
One thing I've noticed is they don't notice it until the Coming Soon poster is already available. The Coming Soon poster comes into view, and then they're like, wait a minute, that poster says build our machine. And I'm like, why aren't you reacting to the new poster that just appeared?
Connect the dots, please.
It's like they always...
In the background of this one, you have posters for Build Our Machine and Gospel of Dismay, which is our two previous Bendy songs. And then...
There's one more on the left.
Yes, which says Coming Soon with a halo. Which, if anyone
indicates
knows...
that for the girl, for the lady.
Yes. For anyone who knows stuff about Bendy. And, yeah, so I saw, like, when I was looking through the comment section is either, holy crap, the animation, or, did you see that Coming Soon sign in the Bendy section? And also, or, is this real levels in game?
No, the most popular comment that everyone makes is, did that puppet dab? Did that puppet just dab? That's every comment. Or a comment like, oh, you should have included a Toy Story section in the game. You should have included like they'll just list random Tattletale, they'll list random games or things that aren't even games, and they'll say you should have included a section with that. And I'm like, why?
No. But like, yes, for people who are wondering why the important announcement video was Will dabbing, there's a reason.
Oh yeah.
Because you're all edgy hipster kids who dab to everything.
Yes.
I can't dab.
Yeah, I can't dab.
There we go.
I'm a bad
Oh my
dabber.
goodness, the black blob has grown arms.
Brawr.
You actually kind of look like if your whole face was black, you would be the Bendy in the Cuphead video. Or the puppet. Oh my god, he's just doing a casual cosplay as the puppet. But was that all your week that you wanted to share, Mr. Oblivion?
I think that's about everything in the aftermath of the video. And yeah, the final piece of work I had to do was getting the version of Sound Effects Fats done. It's going up today, probably like within a few hours after this is over.
So, everybody,
also,
if
I just want to shout.
If you haven't seen it
thing,
yet,
I just want to.
Yeah.
I just want to shout out to our other animators who worked on this. Don't give me all the credit. Most of Cuphead's movements, like his little. Some people think we used sprites from the game. We didn't. We recreated it all from scratch in Flash, in beautiful Flash animation, if you can believe it. So Sean did majority of the animations for Cuphead himself. I only did the run cycles. And most of the special effects, like Dust, was animated by Made, who was also a pony animator at a certain point in time. He made a very infamous button mash animation that was super controversial.
You want to suck my cock?
Is that what you want?
Get on your knees, bitch. Get on your knees.
How did I miss that one?
So yeah, he is a good boy. He's super talented. He's amazing at drawing hands. He's been doing a lot of practice. If you notice, the puppet has a lot of little wiggly hand motions. Same with Bendy. That was all him. He like traced it, like he like drew frame by frame sketches, and I kind of vectored over it. Honestly, a lot of the animation would not have worked without him. He did so much. And Sean worked his butt off. He's had so much. His family's been forcing him to go on road trips. He's had all this stuff, and he's been trying to just doing all the grunt work. And he did it to my specifications perfectly. The good thing about Sean is he understands how I work and how I like to put things together, and he'll organize things in a way that's good for me. We're like completely on the same wavelength. He's amazing to work with. Nice. So yeah, shout out to Sean W. and Made for helping out, because they did great.
They are amazing animators.
And also Will Ryan, obviously the song's amazing. He also did a couple of in-betweening frames on the puppet's death. As he's like winding up before he dabs, every second frame in there for a while, Will Ryan actually did. So little shout out the
green hair Will.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did a little bit of in between. And yeah. That's it. That's everything about that project.
Coolio. Yeah, but in my own week, not too much happening, to be honest. I continued, I actually picked it up again, Overwatch. I start to develop a liking for it. This is the beginning of the end, everybody.
Oh, the VR chat story that your friend had.
Yes, that would be another one. So today, a friend of mine called me up like, hey, what's up, just on Skype, and he was, because he actually has a VR setup at home, like with the glasses and sensors all around him and whatnot, and he was like, yeah, here, let me show you, when screen share and then onto Steam to the VR chat, you know, the infamous VR chat that has been in the meme press recently. So he went on there, first of all showed me his beautiful anime girl skin he was using. Absolutely. So he went around as a little pretty big-eyed anime girl in a dress that probably, if it was from the same creator of another guy we ran into, if you go low enough, they spend time designing aspects below the skirt. I mean, safe for work still, but they included painty shots in the goddamn skins.
Ah, great.
Okay, so he's running around with a probably similarly designed girl. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't ask for details. So he just wanted to show off a little bit of the art of meeting rooms or whatnot. And he went into one space, which was basically a club, a bar, whatever, multiple stores, a little karaoke machine, a bar where he could actually pick up mugs and throw them at people. It was mostly empty, like only a dozen other people in there. But among those, only a dozen other people were 2 or 3 characters, very tiny, red skin, and big knuckle-lick gloves. And he went in there. Keep in mind his skin, and I was like, "Oh my God! See, it's Dave, it's Ugandan Knuckles." And apparently, one of the Knuckles turned to him, my queen? And he was like, oh my god, no. And I'm like, you're part of the meme now. And he tried to run away, turned around, still behind him. Oh god, ran up the stairs. So, and I'm like, he's still following you, isn't he? He looks down the stairs, staircase empty. No, he isn't. Oh my god, there he is. So actually,
That's a great horror game in the making.
And the thing with Knuckles is they're all the way on the floor. They can see right up your skirt.
I know.
So that was the Persona 5 bar, right? You mentioned the staircase and throwing mugs. That sounds like the Persona 5 place. I've been there.
I don't know. With a bar and upstairs, there's a...
And there's like a guy behind the counter with a bit of a pointy beard.
I don't even know if there's a guy behind the counter. He just showed me the general mechanics and interacting with other people and
Knuckles.
Yeah, and doing very mature stuff and basically trash talking everybody who was not using VR, because you can tell. This is a fun little inside knowledge I now have. You can tell if somebody has VR chat or not, if they have an actual VR or if they're using the computer. So if the models just have the arms hanging like loosely hanging and don't do anything with them. And when they run, they just do a very symmetrical run animation. You can basically assume, they are playing this on the computer. They don't have a VR headset, because the VRs pick up your entire hand movement. He could do gang signs and everything, and the VR characters do those. Pretty impressive, actually, in real time and everything. And he even could interact with objects in the world. He obviously presented this in a very immature way, but nevertheless he could. Let's just say he passed a unicorn. He uses VR chat. I didn't expect him to be mature. But, so basically when you, for whatever reason, ever go into VR chat and people have just very stiff or very walk cycle-like animations in their arms instead of general natural arm movements and not just letting them like hanging there like dead meat, then you probably see somebody who uses VR, and the people with the limp arms are inferior players who play VR chat on the computer.
Because I don't want to shill out $500 for a fucking headset.
Oh yeah, he mentioned the controllers cost like $200 a pair. Okay.
Whoa.
I mean, okay. if it is worth it. Besides that, the usual, playing a little bit of games, watching a little bit of Netflix, where we'll come back to in my media section. I could do a segue, couldn't I? I could have just done a segue, but now I screwed it up. Media section. So on Netflix.
Yeah, so.
First of all, I was very happy to see that this week, finally, this is a story a year in the making, guys. And it finally reached its glorious conclusion this very week. I'm very happy and touched by it. A year back, I believe it was a year back, or is it already 2 years back? When did I get Netflix?
Year or two.
2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I pay Netflix now 2 years? Oh, God. So, 2 years ago, there was this announcement going around that actually, that Young Justice, amazing show by Warner Brothers, by DC and Warner Brothers, when they don't do movies, they are actually a very competent company who creates phenomenal medias. They are not just good with real cinematic movies. And this also only in recent history. You look back at the Nolan Batman. They used to be really good. Anyways, it went around like, hey, Young Justice goes on Netflix, get Netflix, give it a thumbs up. Maybe this sends a signal to the producers to create a new season of Young Justice. So this was why I, back in the day, checked out Netflix. This was in the beginning of 2016, apparently, where they just started, for you Americans, probably completely irrelevant, but Netflix has a strong localization, which means you don't get to see everything everywhere. And if you're living in Germany, you get to see the least in the entire world. At least it feels like it.
I remember that you had a rant about Ben 10 because they only had like season 3 of Ben 10 on Netflix.
It's so stupid. It's amazingly stupid how they have stuff like Back to the Future. I believe there's only 1 of 3 Back in the Futures on German Netflix, and it's not even the first one. And yeah,
Your rage.
indeed, my rage makes noise and might make sound effect by now. But yeah, they added Young Justice recently. So the reason I checked out and eventually started using Netflix 2 years ago finally became true for me because once again, localization. Even though Young Justice came to Netflix, I was never able to watch it on Netflix because due to localization, it was not available. I could use a proxy, I could give it a thumbs up, but the moment I tried to watch it, it's like, excuse me, good sir, we have the feeling you are using a proxy to watch Netflix. Sorry, we can't display the media. So I switch off the proxy and I don't have Young Justice anymore. Netflix has enough stuff on it, so I kept it after all for 2 years, but finally I can watch Young Justice. Which is still not my medium. Young Justice is just an awesome show. Watch it. Season 3 is apparently coming. No, my medium this week, no worries, I will keep it spoiler-free. Whose face is going to disappear? I usually have a bad conscience letting our guest's face disappear, so sorry, Keyframe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. No, it's really just a thing. It's either me or you.
Well, that means I can use the bathroom. See ya.
It's true. It's true. Oblivion, if you need to use the bathroom as well, tell me, then I will put it on your face. Like this.
I am fine right now. Ah! Currently, I'm fine.
Yeah. No worries, no spoilers, just saying. So, on, as you can tell, March 2nd, the 5th season of Voltron came out. And if you are following this podcast a while, I believe it was on this show that I once completely fangasmed over Voltron. Either did it on this show or on some other outlet, I don't know. But I should be on the record to be completely stunned and in love with Voltron. The first season, I believe it was the first season who ended with a cliffhanger with a high feeling where I was like, oh, I need to see more. I ended an entire season ended with euphoria for me. I was like, I need more. This was amazing.
Did you make a whole vlog about it or something?
I believe so. It was on my old vlog channel, wasn't it? Disgusting. Yep. Yeah, so apparently I did not talk about it on this show here, so it's fine that I talk about it now. So yeah, first season and even second season, absolutely amazing. I was an absolute fanboy.
Season 3.
Animation-wise, absolutely stellar show. I can only give 2 thumbs up. It's, as you can see, classic Western animation. It's action-heavy show, and the action looks beautiful. I can only recommend it under that aspect. Characters.
What were you lifting up, Christian?
What was he lifting up?
Nothing.
Uh-huh.
It's just a good luck charm.
Oh, that's cool. It's a little Dougie from some person I do not recognize. A rocket person, apparently.
That is creepy as fuck. Anyway, season 3 comes along.
Yes, and with season 3, let me put it like the downfall happened. Beautiful. I love the characters and everything, but it started to fizzle out. And now, after season 5, after binge watching it in the last 2 days, apparently. Oh my goodness. After season 5, once again, I will not go into any details, so no worries. I have the very distinct feeling they didn't plan ahead. They didn't plan ahead for many seasons. They had no plan after season 5. They had, after season 2. After season 2, there was a big, epic climax. Not saying anything else. But it already felt like the end of season 2 felt already very cliffhangery. Like building up for a future thing, for a future story arc that has not been yet developed. And while I was hyped at the end of season 2, because I thought, hey, it was so solid to this point, they probably know where they're going. Season 3 basically started with wrapping all the loose ends from the beginning, from the end of season 2 up within one episode. Within one episode, all the potential for epic quest, everything is cool again. Like, what? And from there on, with season 5, we have characters, weird acting with characters. We have stuff that gets suddenly introduced, and without no build up, there's suddenly bam. Oh, this is now a thing. I mean, the show always started out to be very mystical, even though it's sci-fi, so science fantasy actually. But in season 5, they actually started to call some of the stuff going on magic. And this is like...
It sounds like a reverse Star Wars, when it started with kind of the Force being this magical thing, and then the prequels, they're like midichlorians.
Yes, no, and this, it was always like you had this, in form of Voltron, you had this amazing space tech, and I believe in season 4 or 3 or something, they actually gave a little bit of a scientific-esque explanation why Voltron is so fucking amazing. But now they are like, they literally called something magic. Like the serious characters, not the dismissive characters like Lance, who is like, oh, you and your space magic. No. The real, authentic, scientific, mature characters are like, oh yeah, this is a very magical thing. Like, no, don't. So yeah, the story kind of all over the place, a little bit contrived at times. The characters kind of still going strong, but I have the feeling that their arcs are now made up as they go. And it says season 5, but season 4 was amazing, 6 episodes. Season 5 was amazing, 6 episodes. And yeah, Netflix apparently calls now what shows like Steven Universe would call a bomb, like a conglomerate of episodes together aired. Netflix is now basically calling every package of finished episodes a season and throws it out there. I don't know.
That's super disappointing. Because, like, Voltron was that... I remember when Voltron first came out, and people were like, DreamWorks, yeah, their movies aren't doing that great. Because I think around this time was, like... it was when they were starting to release a lot of shitty stuff in conjunction. And their sequels to their good stuff, which were still good sequels, were not doing well at the box office. But they were like, hey... Voltron is doing good. Maybe going to Netflix and TV, and this was also when Dragons Riders of Berk was on Cartoon Network, and it was a great show. And we were like, maybe they're better with doing this stuff with TV. Oh, that it has got. Even Voltron is going down because you have every DreamWorks show on Netflix.
No, I see the different issue. Hello, this is Netflix. You're greenlit. How can I help you?
Yeah, but it's also but you can't deny that it's also kind of disheartening that the studio that made some really groundbreaking, awesome stuff can't make a good show.
I mean, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, and whatever they make good, they either cut off too soon, like Dragons, or
milk it till it sucks.
Yeah, that's what happened with the Shrek franchise too. So they do it with their movies, now they're doing it with their shows.
It's true.
And it's a great shame since they have the Avatar and Korra people at least working on the visual design for the show, which is like a waste of good art.
Yeah. But yeah, I do recall that you had something down the roads of renting as well, Keyframe. So maybe we should go with Oblivion to lighten up the tone for a little bit before we then go down, before we go all out key rent frame.
Don't die before you say your media. Die after.
Indeed.
Okay. I don't know. My throat suddenly closed up. I don't know what's. I caught it. I got it. So my media is a video that I've discovered probably in 2013, and every couple of months I just come back to it because it's so entertaining and so informative and so interesting. It's basically, usually when people like try to explain that the moon landing is real and all that, usually they'll talk about it from like a scientific perspective and all that. That's how Mythbusters approached it. But what he does is he approaches it from the term of filmmaking and special effects, and how those kinds of special effects weren't actually not possible. It was actually easier to go to the moon than to fake it back then, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's really, really quite interesting. It's almost like he just uses the moon like hoax like discussion as a framing device for talking about film and how that stuff works, and he does it in a very entertaining and somewhat sarcastic way in certain places. I don't know if sarcasm is the right word. point is, it's just a very great, entertaining video that I always come back to, and it's just nice. I like the way it's edited too. Like he clearly knows what he's talking about. Very professional and cool. And
I remember that you showed the lot of us this at MagFest when we discovered, hey, we could put YouTube videos on the TV.
Yeah.
And we were watching it. It's really interesting because it makes you realize the fucking moon truthers who are like, yeah, the moon landing was fake. They don't understand technology at all. Because
and special effects back then were not good. They were not convincing at all.
1969, which they brought up. One of the things that I remember him bringing up was the fact that the way to do certain things would be like you would need to have like a certain camera that can shoot 60 frames per second or 24 frames per second, which was almost impossible in the 1960s.
It was impossible. It was possible for digital. The thing is that the only way they could have filmed the slow motion is by doing it on film. But if they had done it on film, you would see film artifacts, and there aren't any film artifacts because it was done digital. It had to be done digital because it was on the moon. It was a live, so
it was a live feed.
It was a live feed, so it had to have been done digitally. But computer, like you couldn't. High-speed video wasn't a thing back then, And there's a lot of interesting stuff about that. And the way he explains it is just very interesting and very fun. And he just seems like a cool guy. But I've looked at a lot of his other videos, and they're not nearly as interesting. A lot of his other videos are just kind of like...
So you say, when checking out this guy, check out... where's the title again? I can't find the title.
Moon Hoax Not.
I know, but apparently it was further in the front. But it does sound interesting indeed.
So yeah, this is the best video on this channel by far. There are a few other interesting videos, but a lot of the videos are just on like random things that I don't even know what they're about. And they're certainly not. None of his other videos are edited to the degree that this one is, to my knowledge. So
fair enough.
Definitely check that out. It's very good.
Obviously, to the YouTube crowd, down in the description below. So, I guess now we go down the road of the key. What is your medium this week? And how quick can I find it?
You know how I was talking about DreamWorks? God, what happened to them?
You actually did tell me. You actually did tell me.
I know it's coming.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You had to create some super entertaining or groundbreaking or interesting films like Prince of Egypt, Road to El Dorado, the first 2 Shrek movies. A lot of good things. And then it went to crap. But then we started to see a light at the end of the tunnel with Kung Fu Panda and dragons. And then it went to crap again. And it's still there. And then we got Boss Baby. And if you people have watched the podcast long enough, you know my fucking opinion of Boss Baby.
Best film 2017. Oscar, here we come.
Oh. And then I heard the announcement that they're making a Boss Baby 2 movie. And I'm like, sure. It made a lot of money, of course. This can't get any worse, but at least it'll be secluded to theaters where I don't have to see his fucking face.
Should I roll the
Baby,
clip?
The Back in Business on Netflix. I watched this trailer. I can't help the amount of annoyance I felt while watching this trailer. It supersedes anything I've felt in a long time. For one thing, why make it CG? There's nothing that gives them a reason anymore. I at least felt like DreamWorks was smartening up on that because at least with Adventures of Pip and O, which is the home TV show, and Peabody and Sherman, and the new Trolls show, which only came out like last week, they keep it 2D. They're like, we know we can't afford to make it at least look good in 3D animation. They don't care. Second of all, the concept's fucking stupid. Both in the line of the concept of Boss Baby was fucking stupid in the first place. Second of all, though, my Northeastern is coming out. I apologize, but like the second thing, it doesn't make sense in the line of the movie either, because the spoiler alerts for Boss Baby.
No.
At the end of the movie, Alec Baldwin, let's just face it, the baby's Alec Baldwin, gives up his like cognitive reasoning that you get when you work at that corporation. That's the reason why babies act like adults, so he can just have a normal family and be a normal kid. Apparently retcon it all, and this is why we have this movie, because the description is like, watch the boss baby try to balance work life and family life, and I'm like, I don't care. And the second thing, it's obviously not Alec Baldwin playing the character anymore. I feel like they don't say a cast in the trailer. I feel like it's Will Arnett, and the fact that the voice of BoJack may have the possibility of voicing this character makes me sad. Why, Will? Why? And the third thing, the lip syncing is one of the worst things I've ever seen. Like, it looks basic enough when you watch it without audio.
Should we look into it?
I have a comment there. This is something that trailers do a lot. They'll show a clip of one scene and they'll take audio from another scene and shove it on top for a trailer.
Yeah, they have.
That's something that they do a lot.
Yeah, they have a couple of those, but they have legitimate there's more legitimate scenes in this trailer where it actually is
there
the
are.
line from the scene.
This looks like one. Should we give it a listen?
Oh, God,
I enabled inline sound, so you guys should be able to hear this as well.
I can't have my own brother ignorant to the art of business. It's embarrassing. I make sure the world loves babies. More than puppies. More than kittens.
Sir, baby love is plummeting.
What's the threat?
A cat!
What? Cats don't play by rules.
Fate of the company's in your mashed potato hands. Don't blow it. Just kidding. Of course you will. What's up?
This meeting is making me uncomfortable.
I think that was the moment
I'm
my
gonna
soul
bag the
died.
tiger.
Are you and your brother having fun? Nothing suspicious. I love you. Bye.
This is my job on the line.
Oh yeah, there was the thing.
To join a family. We can fix this.
Then again, this could have been one of the
Nothing
moments where they
waiting on
overlaid it with
Yes,
other
gold
audio.
star for Stacy.
In fairness, sir, the cat thought of it first.
Poop duty.
Okay, there it was legitimately
Yeah,
bad.
that's the
Time
thing.
to go invisible. Mommy is a dirty liar.
Like, I don't get why they keep the mouths so tiny, and that's the problem with the fact that I will give Boss Baby the movie one thing.
Oh, by the way, we just murdered the chat. It looks like some of them are dying. I feel like C3PO in Star Wars A New Hope when they start screaming in the communicator.
Yeah, but like I will give Boss Baby the movie one thing. The animation is DreamWorks standard, which is good animation. But when they make these shows, the mouths are always so tiny because they can't do big expressions because the character models are limited. So it's like, it's just so, you have these overacting people, these people that are putting way too much effort into the voice acting than what this show deserves. And having these tiny mouths, it's like an anime. It is like a really badly dubbed anime. And at the part where my soul died, the German baby, I guess, I know who voices him. Out of everyone in that show, I know who voices that character, and it's a YouTuber I like. It's a character. It's a YouTube person named Flula, who's a DJ, and I actually really like his YouTube channel. He does a bunch of DJ remix covers of songs in his car, and he calls them auto-tunes, and it's actually a really interesting thing to watch. I like his stuff, but god damn it, when he gets put into actual mainstream media, it's never good. Like, he played like the annoying horses in Ferdinand, which is the weakest part of Ferdinand, and then this, and then the best role he has ever had is fucking Pitch Perfect 2, which he was the best part of Pitch Perfect 2. Not saying a lot there, but like I felt my soul die. I was like, please stop playing shitty shows don't be that YouTuber that gets put into shitty things, and when you go into mainstream media, it hurts. But like, it would be like it would be like seeing Jesse voice in this show. That's how it feels to me.
Oh.
But
Don't watch. I will say this: when I went on Netflix the other day, there was Boss Baby and the Emoji Movie and new releases. Guess what? Immediately got thumbs down from me. I would never encourage people to do some kind of mass mobbing of something, but
if you see it, just
if you see it and you decide to watch the first episode, who knows? Marketing for Netflix has never been good. Netflix has never been good at marketing their shows, because the original trailer for BoJack was kind of shit and stuff. You know, watch the first episode if you want. Danger. I'm putting a lot of warning signs, but if you decide to cross that bridge, do so. And if you don't like it, which you'll probably not, thumbs it down, because thumbing it down and showing that analytic is the only way that Netflix is ever going to wake up and realize that this shit is not good.
That's actually a good argument.
Because the thing is, Netflix is, to go into one last tangent before we're done with media, Netflix is an interesting platform. I like Netflix. I think it's the closest thing that we have to a future generation of television, the streaming services. Everyone says YouTube's going to become the next TV, but let's put that can of worms aside.
I dare to say they kind of split the work. Netflix is becoming the host for actually professionally produced shows, like series and movies.
Yeah,
while
YouTube wants to be, but doesn't know how to.
Yeah, but YouTube is more for personality shows, like not a scripted show, but shows like this podcast or
like it's like a theater group compared to a television studio. But like streaming services are going to be the future that when it comes to anything that's close to the next generation of TV. And with TV, you have watch ratios, that kind of thing. And that's how they determine if people like it or not. And yeah, there's going to be people reviewing it, but at the end of the day, it's all about time slots and who are watching what in that time slot. And that's becoming obsolete because we have streaming services that we can watch anytime, anywhere, whatever we want. So the only thing is to have the critical feedback, because at the end of the day, if a lot of people are watching something, it's not going to, and they don't say whether they thumb it up or thumb it down, because a huge majority of us forget to thumb up or thumb down. They're going to just go by numbers. It's like the YouTube trending page. But if you actually make the conscious effort to be like, this thing is shit, and you thumb it down, that's going to be how they know. And not, don't press like ironically, because then you're going to get more shit, and then you won't have a right to complain when more shit is out. Like, that's just the simple fact of the matter. Like, I watch Neo Yokio. I love it for the completely wrong reasons, but I still thumb the series down. It's objectively not a good show. You know?
Crime. That's a crime. Putting you in jail.
Throw me in jail and throw away the key with a giant Toblerone.
But
there you go.
Keyframe.
Toblerone is the key.
As Enigma Prince said a while ago in the chat, "Oh Key, you have done enough for us on this planet. Don't suffer any more for this."
I do it not just for you, but for the world.
No, you're not the nostalgia critic. You don't have to remember it that we don't have to.
But that was my media, my rant. Oh, it felt good to do a rant on this again, because I think the last time I did a rant during media was way back. I think it was one of our first awkward casts. I ranted about Rock of Ages and how that's such a shitty musical.
That's the problem. We tend to go with media we like on this show.
Well, thank you, Boss Baby Back in Business, for giving something entertaining.
Well, yeah, what a horrible development.
Oh yeah, Christian?
You commented, why don't they do it in 2D? I think it's because they just want to go really cheap. 3D animation, computers are always getting better. Half the work, I'd say, like, with 2D animation, it's mainly down to the skill of the artists. With 3D animation, it's 50% art and 50% dealing with glitches and rendering and just stuff. So as technology gets better, you just throw money at computers, and that's half the work done.
Yeah, I guess I can kind of understand that.
And I don't know if DreamWorks would do this for a show. Maybe they'd stoop that low. But you know how we have programs that automatically do lip sync? That might be a thing.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they did that for this series.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But
there's one thing that I see in these cheaply animated 3D shows, and this is a pet peeve. I don't know if it's in Boss Baby. I call it the pointless reaction shot, where someone picks up an object, say this, and they pick it up and they go, and like they do this little pointless movement. They're like, I'm like, what does that even mean? I see it in like kids shows all the time. They'll pick something up and be like, and that's
you just really
the whole
like
movement.
That basketball player duck monster.
I do. It is beautiful.
Because it's
anyway.
I have this feeling.
I've never tried. No. It had its butthole glued in.
Oh,
so
right. But no,
it's a decorative ornament.
I guess I can kind of understand that. I just don't get why, with the running trend they had of 2D animated DreamWorks shows, Voltron, Pippino, like of their movie qualities, and especially since the Troll Show is some of the shittiest Flash animation I've ever saw, I just found it kind of weird that they went back to the CG animated series. So, yeah. But anyway, enough ranting.
Yes.
Q&A time.
Yeah. Indeed, I have the feeling that the first question from Enigma Prince kind of stays in the same territory. Mm-hmm. What are some things that really annoy you to no end, and which cartoon or media characters annoy you in a certain, I can't believe they exist and I actually like this fashion? I have the feeling Oblivion just answered this question up front with his little reaction shot thingy. What is it for you, Keyframe? Boss Baby, okay, fair enough.
Okay, no. Well, why don't you say yours? Because I'm trying to think of something that's not Boss Baby.
Okay, what are some things that really annoy you to no end, and which cartoon and media characters annoy you in this? I can't believe they actually did this. Should I also just go back to my media and be like, oh man, it really annoys me that they milk it to death. But then again, it kind of is a thing that really does annoy me. That when you have a really great show, like first two seasons of Voltron, so many other good shows, and you just keep going beyond the point to which you actually had an idea, and you go into the milking territory. And I know this is not really cartoon specific, but cartoon or media character. Where it's like, guys, if you don't have an idea, please stop. So far, for example, if we go with Rapunzel again, the TV show, I have the feeling they still have a plan for season 2, but it could also be just a ambiguous cliffhanger, and they try to come up with stuff right now after filming season 1, finishing season 1. I don't know.
Okay, I got it.
Oh.
I got it. Okay, this is more of a story element. My one side thing about an animation technical thing I absolutely hate is badly done. I had to put badly done in big bold letters. Badly done motion tweening. Cause I know Christian and I have had conversations about this, but like
I'm the tween master. I can do it.
Yeah, Christian is great at tweening, and when you actually look at the Cuphead video, we were able to expedite it slightly because we started using some tweening. But like. Tweens are very easy to fuck up because people don't know arcs. It's just that simple thing, and it's so hard. It shouldn't be hard, but people don't want to take the time to learn basic motion to make tweens look good.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my thing with animation that I don't like, and I have an example. I hate things getting wrapped up super quickly. Like, if there's loose ends for something that's been there, not even loose ends. When a door gets opened and they decide, hey, let's shut it immediately. It's like, I'm fine with deconstruction, because those are two completely separate things. Deconstruction of something and completely shutting the door are two separate things. I hate to do this. My examples come from the horse show.
Dum.
A good deconstruction is like what they've done for Rarity after her getting her boutique in Canterlot. They did the deconstruction of what happens when you achieve your goals and the difficulties that come with it. That's good deconstruction. Slamming the door in your face is what they fucking did with the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Because they made this huge big deal about them getting their cutie marks and realizing our talent is helping people and helping people discover who they are. And they're like, we'll help people all around the world. And it's like, this is actually, with the fact that you bring up a map that apparently is connected to cutie marks, you keep making fucking allusions to cutie mark magic and how you can travel around. In the 3rd episode of the next season, the first episode that introduces back the Cutie Mark Crusaders, the first 5 minutes is just essentially, oh yeah, we can't go out with our sisters on adventures.
Our story arc is over. We have nothing left to do.
It's like, but what about everything you just brought up? What about the fact that you guys are literally an anomaly of getting cutie marks that have only been matched by the main characters of your fucking show that are the elements of harmony? For fuck's sake. I hate that. And there's other examples that have done it, like, that have done the whole thing of let's open up this thing and just take the door, slam it in your face a couple times, and then curb stomp you. But the Pony Show was the time that I actually felt legitimately angry about it. And I don't get angry at TV. I'm not Golden Fox. I don't get angry at TV shows a lot. Like, I get annoyed.
You are dating him, so it is okay for you to say this.
Yes. But, like, I don't get legitimately angry. I get annoyed and then I'd be hyperbolic. But this was one where I legitimately felt like you just ruined... You made a lot of things that are going to happen in the future null and void, and you really should just not exist. Like, it felt... I felt dirty, like, watching it.
Ooh, I have another one.
He did it. Yeah, what is it?
Chloe from Ladybug.
Oh, fuck. I hate fucking one-note villains that are the reason why everything is bad in the world, especially if they don't have superpowers.
But yeah. I have a question specifically for Keyframe and Oblivion. If you are trapped in any one age of animation or art format for the rest of your life, which age would it be and how could you adapt to the aesthetics and the details of the area?
So we would be animators in these timelines, or we would be animating characters?
I guess answer the question how it feels most interesting to you. I can copy paste it in Skype.
I guess both. Then, if I had to be an animated character in this kind of in any age of animation, I would probably be Rubber Hose. Mostly because aesthetically, I just really like that kind of loose thing, and I feel like it would be fun to be a character in that. Maybe I'm just too consumed with Cuphead and Bendy, but if I had to be an animator for something, I would probably the Disney Renaissance age, when right before that everything was getting taken over by computers, when there was actually that legit probability of computers and 2D animation being integrated together. So like the Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast.
Lion King.
Yeah, that kind of era where things were more about integration than what medium it triumphs over the other.
Oblivion.
I don't know what kind of animation I would want to live in. I can't even fathom that. That's not something I've ever thought about. But in terms of if I had to like be stuck in an era of animation in terms of like making stuff, I would want to be trapped in like the early Newgrounds days so I could be the best and just make random rubbish forever.
So basically the idea,
crazy stupid stuff.
Basically the idea from Game Dev Tycoon, like with the today's knowledge, travel back in time to rule the industry.
Yes, exactly. I'm like online animation, it's a budding thing. I'm gonna ruin it for everyone.
Just imagine Christian going back in time, and there's Tom Fulp and all these people, Homestar, the people who make Homes, the Chapman brothers, and being like, guys, look at my arcs, and then they're like,
I'm gonna be like, hey, Harry Partridge, who's a guy now?
I never even got started. Why are you so mean to me?
He would still be better than me. Like when he was half the age of an animator that I was. I've been animating for 12 years. When he was animating for 6 years, he was still better than I am now. So,
but if you manage back far enough and crush his spirit when he is still young and growing,
I'll crush his soul.
But then we wouldn't have Dr. Bees.
I would make Dr. B. See, I would plagiarize all the good stuff. I'd go back in time and I would make it first.
But like, maybe you could go back in time and be like, dude, motion tweens can look good, and that way we could actually have more than 3 episodes of Starbarians.
Oh, beautiful. But yeah,
they can look good.
Sorry.
They can. All you have to do is just have overlapping motion and animate inside of symbols, then animate on the outside. One thing that always works is if you animate horizontal movement inside one symbol and animate vertical movement outside, you will always get arcs just by playing with the easing. A lot of simple things you can do to make it good that aren't actually that hard and don't require much work.
Yeah.
Okay, just to prove that not only Enigma Prince is answering or giving us questions to answer, I've got an urgent delivery which came in during the show by Death Alchemist. Hope I'm not too late. No, you're not. What was the hardest video you guys had to make?
I'm guessing they're asking all of us?
I guess so. I mean, we all have been involved in video production, so...
Okay. Christian, you go first.
I mean, hardest in terms of scale would definitely be Brothers in Arms, but hardest in terms of how much I worked myself to death, Gospel of Dismay, because again...
oh, you poor boy!
The last day of production, when I put "day" in quotation marks because I worked for 36 hours. I woke up. I started working at 11 a.m. I woke up at like 10. Started working at 11. Like I had breakfast. I think that was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. It was like Wednesday morning. I didn't go to stop until like no, it would have been earlier than that. Point is, I woke up in the morning and then I didn't go to sleep until tomorrow night, basically, and I was working the entire time.
Oh boy!
Yeah, didn't
you only finish it like a day before Too Many Games?
I didn't finish it a day before. I finished it an hour before we got on the plane for Too Many Games. So I woke up, stayed up, worked that entire day, worked all through the next night, and then worked through all the next day again, and then I realized I had to re-render something and add an extra bit of animation. I realized, oh crap, I want to put the last chorus. Why don't I put Alice Angel and Boris in there? So I animated them. Like we had like 4 hours before the plane. I started animating them, got that done in like an hour, got that out, rendered just that section of the video out, and then patched that into the other thing, which was a much quicker render, but only took 20 minutes. And then I'm like, oh cool, we have to leave for the airport in an hour. Shove that on a USB pack in an hour. And then I had to be on the plane. I didn't really sleep on the plane. And so I didn't even get to sleep until the night after that because we were going on the plane at like 3 a.m. And so I had to live through that whole day and then go to bed. And so I have never worked that hard in my in terms of like masochistic work ethic. So yeah, that video that you're seeing down there, that video nearly killed me.
Lovely.
I remember the fucking the nightmare was to upload it and then re-upload it to YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever told this story on the AWKWARDcast. Great thing about Gospel of Dismay that made this one of the most stressful video experiences for all of us, but mostly Sean.
Sean!
But like, so the video came out during Too Many Games. We premiered during then, and it was just in views and everything. It was great. Like we were close to, I think, 700,000 by when this happened or something.
We hit. No, I think it was on like 300K or something, and it was still the first day.
Yeah. It was insane. And Sean wanted to put it in the music video playlist, and he accidentally deleted the video from the channel.
Oh god.
And Sean was like, and this was before Will had to perform on stage and stuff for the show. And Sean was like almost in tears or in tears. He was just like, oh fuck, I fucked up. And we had to re-upload it was a very stressful day.
And he had to re-upload it.
Back.
We had to re-upload it on shitty hotel Wi-Fi. He had to create a hotspot from his phone to upload it from because that was actually faster, if you can believe it. And it took like a couple of hours to upload. When it finally got up, we were like worried because it had hit like 300K in like a couple of hours. We're like, is it gonna be fine? It was fine. It hit 1 million views in like 2 days, pretty much.
Yeah, it was insane.
So it has
now on like 20 million views, so something.
Wait, what does it have? 20 million. Yeah, 20 million we are at right now.
But yeah, so that was your hardest video. I mean, I will say this, working with watercolors is a bitch with Brothers in Arms. I actually, back behind me, I have some of the old redos because those backgrounds, I didn't just do them all in one go. There was multiple redos that I had to do. And because watercolor paint doesn't cooperate. And you can't paint on top of it like acrylics, which is what I usually use. So I was using a medium I haven't used in years. And they turned out good, so I'm very happy. But like those were redos. Those were annoying. That was the death of me. But the hardest video I had to work on personally for my channel, I think it's a tie between probably the Cutie Map review, because that was me. That was my first big like reviewing video. I mean, I had Brony Gallery and stuff beforehand, but when you actually look at the format of Brony Gallery, it's a lot less editing intensive because I wanted to focus on the artwork, so I don't want there to be a lot of flashy doodads. The Brony Gallery, I had more movement with character, and that was me starting to be like, hey, I like doing this kind of thing, making things animated, and then it hit more of its apex with the theory video for the season 6 finale.
Oh yeah, this was actually the one. This was actually the one where you did stuff like with the holding the stick and.
Yes, yeah. When I made like the little Rainbow Dash puppet thing that you have.
Yes, there, but actual movement.
Yeah, but like I like doing that, and then it hit more of its apex when I did the theory video for the season 6 finale. That one's probably my most stressful experience because. Fuck you, the UK, and your fucking leaks. Oh my god. Because originally, the video was almost done, and it was going to come out a week before the finale. Perfect timing for predictions. The fucking UK decided to leak all the last few episodes in a bomb. So I uploaded it literally an hour before the thing premiered in the UK. And my favorite part about that was that we were right about a good third of the things about like changelings and shit. And I was very happy. And then I had comments of people being like, your guys' theory is actually better than what happened in the show. Interesting. And I'm like, thank you. I'm glad that there's that. But
oh wait, the Limbo invasion, wasn't it?
Yes, that one. Not my name choice. That was the choice of other people. But even with certain things that have happened, I'm very proud of the editing in that video. So I do like that moment is one of my favorites of the poking the stick. And keep in mind, I edited this on the Dinosaur.
Oh,
so
wow.
I did all of this editing work on a computer that always had delays. So I had to keep re-rendering parts in clips to be like, everything timed right.
Oh wait, where's your favorite moment? I know that where your favorite moment is.
Is my favorite moment the stick?
No, I believe here's your favorite moment. Incoming.
Oh yeah! Lighting it on fire. I do like that part, but pause it. I did like making that video, but the most intensive editing that took the longest time was a fic reading, actually. I will always say this, audio editing is the most thankless job you can ever do, besides animation. But audio editing, to make something immersive, is really hard, and Changeling Queen, which was the fic I did for Month of Macabre, it's a 40-minute fan fiction.
A lot of audio editing happening. A lot of audio editing happening in this one.
Because we didn't have the biggest cast, but the point is there was changeling, so you had to do vocal effects for that. You had to do there was a lot of stuff that involved body gore, so there was like people transforming and you're inside of this living carcass, so there's a lot of dripping and sound effects and stuff. And it took so long to just do the sound effects and the soundscapes for it. And I don't think I'm the best person to do it, but I think I'm good at it, you know? But I remember rendering it and finishing it, and I released it. I forgot if I released it on Halloween or the day after, because I made 2 videos for Halloween. I did a cover of Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas, and I did that. And one video came out on the 1st, and I killed myself editing those 2 videos on the same day. And one of the comments from someone I know was like, why did you upload this on November 1st? And I've never wanted to punch someone so hard in my life, being like, I give you 2 days worth of content, and you're complaining about when I fucking post it? But yeah, so those are my fun experiences. What about you, Mr. Max?
I'm really desperately trying to find it. I mean, I could swear I made one video on my channel which had like 150 images used as footage. What I call footage, like imagery, like individuals. Like here's one with this has 100 images, like numbered to include in. Wait, nobody sees this. This is counterproductive. This one, like here we have 100 images that I all looked up and put into order and included in the video. I could swear there was one where I had 150, but I can't recall it. I just know that this was a very tedious thing, but I already had kind of come up with my own systematic way to handle those kind of things, so it was just dragging on and not much fun. I believe actually one of my very early videos was one that, let me see, can I find it quickly? That was a pain to make. Wait, this actually, no, it's on this channel. I have too many channels. Did I ever mention this? There, okay, we're getting closer. No, the first videos on my on my first YouTube channel. Whoop. One that sadly never got the attention I wanted it to have was a mysterious ticking noise. I did this with very basic methods. I mean, I obviously recorded every character single in a single line, because as you can tell, it's all as you will be able to tell, it's all me. And I didn't get the timing right at all, so I needed to produce this, and I recorded every character in a single line without anything. So that was a pretty painful thing. And actually, the other channel very early, another video on this channel very early on, I would say, oh, this one. I tried to do everything in one take. So all the characters are without cuts. I don't cut in a trick I developed later, like cutting in. You see all 4 characters on screen right now, all are happening in real time. And I needed to time this somehow, and it was a pain to do in recording, and I had to redo it a million times because I had some kind of guide video running. And you see the not reaction between the characters is amazing. Like one character snipping and the other character stares for him like for 5 minutes and nothing is happening. All pretty horrible. And I just had those timeline videos running, which told me when I have to do something. So I, in advance, predicted how long I need for every reaction and moment, and then all 4 were horrible. So,
I mean, I have to say, I'm impressed that you did it by yourself. I mean, like, you know, when it comes to live action stuff, because drawings and stuff, you can always edit and fix and stuff. Live action stuff enamors me with what people can do, because I'm just like, you know?
Yeah. But in all fairness, this show actually developed nicely. This is how it looked at the end before I canceled it or discontinued it, like quality-wise, in comparison to what you just saw a moment ago.
At least all the characters are the same color.
But yeah, good old times. Good old times. This was a pain to make. Okay, I guess we should ask more questions.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, maybe we cannot make all of them.
Yeah, because we're almost 2 hours. Half hour pre-show, so we're an hour and a half in.
Let's see. Okay, we have. I have 3 more questions, and I will summarize them all, and then you guys get to pick.
Okay.
Okay. So first question. Oh well, no, we actually had this one covered. One of Enigma's trademark deep, insightful questions.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Wait, I asked that one as well. Okay, so. This one is actually fun.
Okay.
Maybe we just go with this one, and one deep, insightful one. One which is good for our imagination and gives us could turn out creepy very quickly, and the last one which is oh god, I don't get it paraphrased. Fuck it. One question: who would win in a fight? One question: what 3 specific commands would we give a clone of ourselves to program with? And the last one, the deep, insightful one, is what have been the greatest surprises that happened to you in your life? And okay,
that's a deep, insightful question. That's actually nice, and I don't see how it can go pessimistic and depressing. So
No, the one with the clones was the one where I suspected it to go deep, depressing.
Oh well, yeah, but
like complete question text. Say there was an exact clone of you, and it was like you as you are right now, and acted exactly like you. What 3 commands or rules would you have them to follow to the letter? You must be specific and careful with your wording.
I think Christian wants to answer this one first.
I don't know which question. We have 3 questions. So.
This is the clone one.
Yes. Okay, we go with the clone one, not with the nice surprises and live one. I see where you're coming from. Right.
We could do both. Let's just do the clone one first.
Well, I don't know what exact commands I would give it, or how to word it. I would try and find a way to make it be my slave.
Careful, Enigma is in this chat and listening. He's taking notes. He might. Whoop.
Apparently, the clone is off screen. It's rebelling.
Yes.
5 minutes.
Oh.
Yes. We have to go to the store very soon. No, I can answer this.
Okay.
I would make it my animation slave, and I'd make it do that. That's that question.
So those are the 3 rules. You are my animation slave. Do it. I don't
You're
see
my
this
animation slave. Do it.
I don't see this clone running rampant at all at any point in time.
Well,
I'll try and feed him. But
You'll try to feed him.
We have to go to the store. We have a time limit because we have to be back for something else.
Oh, so I guess.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very abrupt thing that has not happened on the show before. I don't know. This is, I have to be honest, kind of awkward.